What do we need to achieve a good balance between the environmental and economic goals in agriculture? The development of the district land use schemes would be the basis for solving this issue. These schemes are elaborated based on the detailed land inventory, aiming to elaborate the recommendations on optimizing land use with due regard to both the economic and environmental factors. Such schemes were prepared for a number of administrative districts of the project region and were adopted as a regional statutory document. In particular, this is the recovery of natural meadows on a large portion of the cultivated lands of Polesie, the restriction of land use on degraded lands, as well as the change of the profile of cultivated lands use, including the transfer of low productive lands for the natural reforestation and repeated maize formation. All these measures will undoubtedly allow to reduce the impact of the human economic activity on the natural ecosystems. The integration of the recommendations on the greening of forestry activities on the territories adjacent to the Polesie reserves into forestry plans aim to conserve the biological and landscape diversity. The cut-over land, planting pine seedlings on cut-over patches, burning the remnants, as it used to be before, did an irreparable harm to the nature of Polesie. Currently, the creation of mixed forest stands, reforestation, selective felling during timber harvesting are broadly utilized here. During such harvesting, the trees important for the conservation of biodiversity are preserved on the felling sites. Besides, the clearance of cut-over patches and burning of cutting remnants have been minimized. The Regional Training Center on Forest Certification and Environmental Education has been established at the Luninets Forestry with the support by the project. Forestry employees undergo their retraining here and acquire up-to-date knowledge on the topic. The Belarusian Polesie possesses a huge potential for the development of ecotourism. The uniqueness of the flora, fauna and wetland landscapes make this region quite attractive, both for scientists and amateurs of nature. Within the project framework, 4 environmental education centers have been established in the Beroza, Drogachin, Luninets and Stalin districts. Their main goal is to provide extensive environmental information on the peculiarities of the reserve, its flora and fauna, offered ecological routes and services to the visitors. The resources of the center also serve to promote the development of the package of ecotourism services for the foreign guests and increase the region's attractiveness for the international tourism. This will become an efficient tool for the careful use of the natural and cultural values of the region. It is open virtually to all ages and affordable for people with various financial capacities. In order to develop this type of tourism, 5 ecological trails have been designed and constructed in the Sporovsky, Zvanets and Mid-Pripyat reserves. The trails have been equipped with all necessary infrastructure for the comfortable tourist recreation: observation towers, information stands, places to eat and rest. With the project's financial support, tourist equipment, boats, bikes and such like were purchased for the centers. Ecotourism might become an important source of economic benefits also for the local population. There was a competition of micro-projects on the development of ecotourism in the Belarusian Polesie region. According to its results, 16 local initiatives, competition winners, gained financial support for the improvement of the reception and accommodation of tourists, establishing small museums of ethnography and culture, for arranging staging posts and recreation locations for the tourists. When applications were reviewed, One of the criteria was the preparedness of the applicants to perform ecotourism activity in close cooperation with administrations of the project region reserves. This allowed to ensure a more active involvement of the local population into nature conservation activities and decision-making in Polesie reserves.
Управленческих решений в полесских заказниках.
Да, если в целом оценить работу.
If we assess the activity of the international environmental initiatives on the whole, that means the money they've invested into the Republic of Belarus, and this makes almost $10 million in recent years, the assistance is practically invaluable. This is a non-budgetary source of funding. It makes around $2 million a year on such projects. This is very good support. In fact, it's very beneficial for our nature and the people living on these territories and for the specially protected areas. During these years, we have realized that the best thing for the conservation of natural and landscape diversity is to involve people into the management of their lands, and this is primarily the organization of ecotourism. Thus, with the assistance from the facility, we, among other things, support ecotourism. Apart from that, we're elaborating the methodological basis for the management of the reserves through these projects. It means the methodology itself. We take the best international practices and apply them on our territory. And this work is also efficient. We have around 8% of protected areas today. This is a good proportion, and each year this share increases. There's a presidential decree which envisages that we should exceed the 8% of protected areas this year and next year. We have come closer to it and are applying international experience in the management of protected areas. These projects also allow to adopt the experience of the foreign countries and apply it in Belarus. It is not always possible on a global scale, I mean the whole country, but such small projects address these issues, and this is a big advantage.
Решает. Вот это большая польза.
The UNDP GEF initiative is implemented in close cooperation with the Global Environmental Facility Small Grants Program, which has been active in Belarus since 2005. The main objectives of the program are assistance to Belarus in the environment conservation activity at the national and regional levels, demonstration of innovative technologies during project implementation, financial support aiming to obtain actual outcomes through the activity of non-governmental organizations and community-based organizations, local authorities, in order to enable their joint participation in addressing environment conservation issues and encouraging sustainable development at the local and regional levels. The activity of the Small Grants Program in Belarus promotes the integration of GEF programs of action into the national priorities in the environment conservation area. Elaboration and testing of approaches, which increase the awareness of the local population on the environment conservation issues. Mobilization of funds of the country and potential donors at the local, regional and national levels. All in all, in the period from 2006 up to 2010, 72 projects were implemented in Belarus within the GEF SGP. 19 projects were funded within the GEF Conservation of Biodiversity area of work. These projects aim to recover and protect the rare and endangered plants, birds and animal species listed in the Red Book of Belarus through the restoration of the Mayan forest ecosystems in and around the protected areas, recovery of flood meadows and a great number of other natural conservation activities with maximum involvement of the local population and non-governmental organizations, and also through the development of ecotourism.
Важным результатом проекта
An important output of the UNDP GEF project is the accumulated experience of enabling the sustainable operation of specially protected natural areas, the conservation of biological and landscape diversity. This experience has been already successfully tested beyond the Polesie region, and the concrete results obtained in Polesie reserves allowed the government of the Republic of Belarus to enhance the whole system of specially protected areas of the country. The project catalyzing sustainability of the wetland protected area system in Belarusian Polesie through increased management efficiency and realigned land use practices has become a concrete positive result of the interaction between the government of the Republic of Belarus and the international institutions for the conservation and sustainable use of the natural ecosystems of the Belarusian Polesie and the Republic on the whole. The ability to reasonably balance economic goals with environmental concerns is the basis for the happy existence of a human being today. To be a real master on Earth means to respect nature and enjoy its benefits reasonably.
И придет ко мне лягушка, скажет тихо мне на ушко: жить в пруду привольно мне, но болото чуть шмелей. Ты болото сделай мне, буду счастлива вполне. Что ж, я сделаю болото, раз лягушке так охота.